I am Stevie Lee Webb. I'm one of the owners of the cheese shop in Carrboro, North Carolina. I'm going to be making and designing and helping you all choose some of the best cheeses to go on your cheese board at home. When I'm building a cheese board, I tend to like to go for a European style. The French call it au nature. When we're making a cheese board, rather than having everything cut up into little tiny pieces, we'll cut larger portions, and then people can help themselves to as much or as little as they like. Now, the way that I like to design it, some people like to call it mild to wild. I like to sort of call it my cheese clock, if you want. What's the cheese time? So let's start with our first cheese here. This is one of my favorite goat's cheeses. It is called Lindeline, and it's from Blakesville Creamery in Wisconsin. You can see right here, we have the three parts of the cheese, the paste in the middle, the cream line on the outside, and then the rind. And yes, you can eat the rind, unless it's paper, cloth, or metal or wax or something like that. But always try the rind is my recommendation. When you've got something very delicate like this, you want to create as little friction as you possibly can. Use a very thin blade or a professional cheese wire. I'm going to put this up here at the 12 o'clock position. When we eat, we're going to move around the clock like this. So as I've got four, I'm going to start there. This one here is the butter bloom, and I'm going to use this beautiful knife here. Soft cheese knives, which you might see, always have these holes, and it's the same reason that you're not going to create as much drag and break up the cheese. And you can see why they call this one butter bloom. This one's almost all cream line by this point. Let's put that at a 3 o'clock position. After that, I would add maybe a washed rind cheese. Gruyere is actually a washed rind cheese. What they do is they wash the outside of the cheese with a saltwater solution, sometimes an alcohol solution. It gives it this beautiful tackiness here. I'm going to use a good solid knife like this. The way the knife is made, when I'm pushing down on the cheese, it's going to let me get all the way to the bottom without catching my own knuckles. This one works pretty well as batons. Now everyone gets just a little bit of the rind there. You can either use that as a little handle, or you can go all the way down and eat it. This is Blue di Bufala, a buffalo milk blue from Quattro Portoni in Italy. Buffalo milk is actually the highest fat content milk of all the milks that we use to make cheese. There's a crumbliness which often comes with blue. There, you can see inside just how crumbly that is. Maybe you could crumble a couple of little pieces on there, like a sort of a cheesy waterfall. You really don't need a lot of extra things in there. Just make sure that everything goes together. So when we're doing our accoutrements here, what I want to do is have some things which are going to clean our palate as we go along, so we're ready for the next cheese. I find some Marcona almonds, probably the best nuts which you're going to find to go with cheese. They've got just a really nice crunch, and they'll really open that up there. Cornichons, very similar kind of thing. The acid there is really going to clean you out. If you're feeling like you got a bit too much mouthfeel, have a little bite on a cornichon there. Crackers or bread. The cracker should be nice and light, nothing that's going to overpower the cheese. I call these the vehicle. This is the way you get the cheese to your mouth. If you are looking for a spread or something like that, I must say that I find fig to be sort of universal. Pickles go very well with things like cheddar. Bright green fruits, apples, pears, grapes, will go very well with the soft cheeses, with the goat's cheeses as well. But if you just want to do one thing, a little bit of fig is probably going to be one of your best bets. Give your guests something to serve themselves with. These lovely little cheese knives I think are just beautiful. Cut, put the little prong in, and then you can move it to your own plate. And this will give everybody something to talk about. I'm Stevie Lee Webb, the co-owner and the head cheesemonger at the cheese shop in Carrboro, North Carolina, and this is my perfect cheese board.